INDI are back to their familiar template, both inside and outside the parliament. After the tense face-off inside the parliament over the course of the week, the bitterness now spilled over even outside the floor of the house. Staging a protest today against the Modi government, the opposition MPs were brandishing posters that read, "Prime Minister has compromised." Okay, I'm given to understand that there's some breaking input coming in. Lok Sabha has been adjourned. That's the breaking input coming in. The Lok Sabha has been adjourned for the day. Remember, we told you earlier that Prime Minister Narendra Modi was supposed to speak at around 5 p.m. And was going to respond to the President's address. But now, this is what we are picking up. The breaking input coming in on the broadcast that Lok Sabha has been adjourned for the day. We'll try and connect with our reporters to get you more details about that. Lok Sabha adjourned for the day. That's what we're picking up at the moment. Prime Minister, that's the input we are getting. Remember, we have been witnessing a lot of ruckus and chaos inside the house. All of that started when Rahul Gandhi tried quoting from an unpublished book of the former Army Chief General M.M. Naravne. Ever since then, ever since that particular episode, there's only been ruckus inside the parliament, sloganeering and protests, not just inside but outside as well. And amid ruckus, we are given to understand Lok Sabha has been adjourned for the day ahead of the Prime Minister's address. Lok Sabha has been adjourned. The Prime Minister was supposed to speak in Lok Sabha, the lower house of the parliament, at 5 p.m. But now, this is the latest we're picking up, that Lok Sabha has been adjourned for the day. Let me go across to Mohit, who's joining us in the broadcast with more details. Mohit, news just coming in that Lok Sabha has been adjourned for the day ahead of the Prime Minister's address.
Yes, in fact, Swati, the Lok Sabha has been adjourned till tomorrow. Now, it was expected that Prime Minister Narendra Modi would be speaking today in the Parliament regarding the motion regarding the presidential address. But what we see is that as soon as the proceedings of the House began, the Speaker, Sansad, was on the chair at that particular time, clearly stated that the House is being adjourned. So we have to wait and watch when exactly Prime Minister would be speaking. But Swati, I spoke to various senior leaders of the BJP Member of Parliament. They were not clear that whether Prime Minister will be speaking today or not. Just before the timing of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to speak came, they said that a proper discussion has not taken place, and perhaps that is why the Congress party clearly stated that they will not allow Prime Minister to speak. So perhaps that is why Prime Minister did not speak today. Shortly from now, we'll hear from the top leadership of the Congress party. As we speak, the Congress MPs have started gathering at the Makar Dwar. So we have to wait and watch. And Rahul Gandhi is also here. So we have to wait and watch what exactly Rahul Gandhi says.
Right. Now, is there going to be any address by any of the ministers, especially the Parliamentary Affairs Minister, on when is the Prime Minister going to speak now, since the Lok Sabha has been adjourned for the day? Okay, I think we've lost that line with Mohit. We'll try and connect with him again and get you more inputs. This is the breaking input that we're getting for you at the moment. Lok Sabha proceedings to resume tomorrow. It has been adjourned for the day. Prime Minister was supposed to speak, but that clearly is not going to happen now because the Lok Sabha has been adjourned for the day. It will resume tomorrow. We're, of course, waiting for more information on when will the Prime Minister now be speaking. Lok Sabha will resume tomorrow at 11 a.m. What we have witnessed so far is ruckus. What we witnessed is sloganeering, chaos inside the house. This started and it was in fact escalated after Rahul Gandhi spoke and quoted from the unpublished book of the former Army Chief General M.M. Naravne. And in response to that, today we saw Nishikant Dubey highlight and talk about the Bofors scandal. He was seen quoting from several books. We have Pragya joining us in the broadcast with more details. Pragya, tell us more. We're given to understand that Vipaksh resorted to sloganeering and ruckus, and the Lok Sabha has been adjourned for the day.
Well, Swati, absolutely dramatic visuals that we had seen inside the house, where the people from opposition benches went up to the treasury benches. In fact, they had crossed the treasury benches and they were holding one big banner, in their hands, and most of them were women MPs from the opposition. And they actually started shouting slogans, and the banner that they were holding, there was an excerpt of Mr. Naravne's book, alleged book, that was written on it, "Jo uchit lage wahi kare." that they attributed to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And what we had seen that everyone jumped right into the well as soon as the session convened. And in fact, these women MPs from the opposition started going towards the treasury benches. They had crossed almost 3 rows, into the treasury benches when Union Minister Mr. Ashwini Vaishnav, Kiran Rijiju all objected. How can you come into the bench towards our treasury benches like that? Because they were also going towards Mr. Nishikant Dubey. It is then that when House was adjourned, there was a lot of commotion in the House. The treasury benches. The MPs also stood up, and in fact, the women MPs of BJP then slowly came towards them, and there was a lot of heated debate and sloganeering in the House. And looking at that, Arjuna Meghal also mediated in between and said that the House is adjourned. There is no point in shouting slogans and using words against each other. And this is when the crowd was dispersed. The MPs from the opposition parties came out of the well, and this is kind of a scene that we have never seen in the House ever, especially at a time when there is a motion of debate of thanks on President's address, and Prime Minister is supposed to speak. A Prime Minister's time to speak in the House was 5. Definitely, they knew that opposition is unrelenting this time, and they are going to cause ruckus. Security was also on hold, for that matter also. But it looks like that this, the war of words, not just that, but this is going to be heading towards a stormy session. Whatever the days are left, it looks like that it is not going to be easy as far as government is concerned.
Right. So what's going to happen next? Since there'll be no address of the Prime Minister today, at least, Lok Sabha has been adjourned. Any information on whether the Prime Minister will address tomorrow, because Lok Sabha will resume tomorrow at 11, Pragya?
Lok Sabha will resume tomorrow at 11, but I believe that there is some strategy that they are going to take to consider and also take in place, because address of Prime Minister has to happen on this particular motion of thanks. This needs to be closed so that the debate on budget will start. So we are given to understand that there will be a hut the ministers and to discuss the strategies and to rethink the strategies on how to deal with the opposition. And this is going to be the...
Okay, I think we've lost that line with Pragya. We'll try and connect with all our reporters, get you more details. But that's the big breaking news we're getting for you. Lok Sabha adjourned for the day. Amid sloganeering and ruckus, Lok Sabha has been adjourned for the day. The Prime Minister's address, the Sansad Sandesh, won't happen today. Lok Sabha will resume tomorrow at 11. We're still waiting for more information on whether or not that address will take place tomorrow. But unprecedented scenes witnessed in the lower house of Parliament. Pragya is back with us on the broadcast. Yes, Pragya.
So, government is going to rethink the strategy on how to deal with this particular attitude of the opposition parties. And it looks like that this time they are very adamant, unrelenting, and it looks like that Rahul Gandhi has also played a very important role in strategizing how Congress will, behave in the House. And this time it looks like that they're not letting Prime Minister to speak, and this is exactly the reason why the government will rethink its strategy, because most of the women MPs came towards Treasury benches, crossed 3 rows of the Treasury benches, shouting slogans. The Prime Minister sits on the first bench of the Treasury benches, and this becomes also a security issue, at times. And this is why the security was also on alert mode. But it looks like that this is not going to be easy for the government as of now, Swati. They need to rethink this strategy, and they also need to rethink how the opposition party members are behaving, whether there will be any disciplinary actions against those who were holding banners and crossed across to the Treasury benches is yet to be known. They are just dispersing right now, as of now, and they will come out and speak to about that. And government will also, in fact, Speaker is going to hold some meetings, as to what can be done, and if there is any complaint against those opposition MPs, action certainly is going to be taken.
All right, Pragya, stay on with us. Madhav is also joining us in the broadcast now. Unprecedented scenes witnessed earlier. Now we're given to understand that Lok Sabha has been adjourned for the day, so the Prime Minister's Sansad Sandesh or the address won't happen today.
Well, absolutely. In fact, the Prime Minister was supposed to speak on the motion of thanks to the President's address, and of course that was expected to take place at 5 p.m. just a few moments ago. But we were told, as soon as the House, reconvened, that it would be adjourned. But as you rightly said, the last 36 to 48 hours, we've seen extremely heated exchanges, particularly in context of Rahul Gandhi and the kind of statements that he was making inside the House. We saw several top ministers from the Treasury benches objecting to what Rahul Gandhi was saying these are unverified and unsubstantiated claims, and therefore the leader of opposition, just as any other member of parliament, cannot express them in the House, to which Congress took objection. There were repeated adjournments that took place even yesterday, when the Congress members said that this is a matter of national security and we do want to submit it before the House. When he started referring to Galwan, when he started referring to the book that was written by former Army Chief Naravne, we saw repeated disruptions, objections coming in from the Treasury benches, and today it was made very clear by opposition parties that through the day they will continue to disrupt the proceedings in the Lok Sabha and would also take that forward when the Prime Minister replies in the House. Perhaps it's in that context that we saw the entire decision of the Prime Minister speaking. Perhaps it was decided to be more prudent and not allow for that kind of a situation to take place on the floor of the House. So one will have to see how this deadlock inside the Parliament will have to be resolved in coming days, whether there's any possibility of the opposition and the Treasury benches sitting down and taking the issue forward from here on.
Madhav, I have to interrupt you. We have Mr. Manikam Tagore joining us on the broadcast. Mr. Manikam Tagore, the Prime Minister's Sansad Sandesh won't happen today. Lok Sabha has been adjourned for the day because of the ruckus and sloganeering.
Yeah, the leader of opposition voice was not being allowed to be heard in Lok Sabha, when all other opposition leaders' voice was not allowed to be heard in Lok Sabha, how can only the Prime Minister's Man Ki Baat can be allowed to be heard in Lok Sabha? Parliament is a place where opposition leader has he also have an equal right and responsibility. And the Prime Minister should also speak after hearing the opposition leader. Opposition leader was not allowed to spoken. 2 days they just kept on adjourning. They suspended 8 of us yesterday for none of our mistakes. And today the Prime Minister can't speak in the Parliament. It is historically, in my political term, if you can, any of your from your team, you should ask them to verify. Is there a day when Prime Minister's address, which was fixed to thank the Honourable President's address to the Parliament, has been changed? First time it has been changed now. Because the pressure is so much on them that the whole...
But Mr. Tagore, the Prime Minister was to reply to motion of thanks, as is the tradition. How is this Man Ki Baat?
Yeah, there is one. The motion was not itself discussed. The discussion means what is the opposition leader has to speak. Then only the motion will be discussed. Then only there will be, the motion will be, he has to reply for that motion of thanks. It was not discussed. What he will discuss? He will only discuss Man Ki Baat only then.
All right. So you're saying because Rahul Gandhi was not allowed to speak, no one else is going to be allowed to speak?
Not like that. You should not do this kind of defending work of a BJP, no. You should work.
No. I'm asking this question because Priyanka Gandhi made that statement earlier. हमारे LOP को बोलने नहीं दिया गया, हम उनको नहीं बोलने देंगे.
I'm telling to you what I said to you very clearly. When leader of opposition was not allowed to speak, when all other opposition leaders were not allowed to speak, when all the opposition voices have been throttled, how you can expect 240 MPs voice being just bulldozed in a house of 540 MPs? You cannot do that thing. 240 MPs in 540 MPs house cannot be bulldozed like that.
All right, Mr. Tagore, thank you very much for speaking with us. So that was Manikam Tagore, who says the opposition's voice has been bulldozed. But let's listen into what Priyanka Gandhi said earlier when she made a statement कि हमारे LOP को बोलने नहीं दिया जा रहा है, हम उनको बोलने नहीं देंगे. Listen in.
Did not speak. आज दर गए सदन में और उनके रेल मंत्री और निशिकांत जी तो बुलेट ट्रेन की तरह भागे. निशिकांत जी सही तरह का आरोप. Ma'am, PM had to speak today but did not speak. आज दर गए सदन में और उनके रेल मंत्री और निशिकांत जी तो बुलेट ट्रेन की तरह भागे. निशिकांत जी सही तरह का आरोप. Ma'am, PM had to speak.
Okay, so that was the latest reaction, in fact, coming in from Priyanka Gandhi. Niyamika is also joining us on the broadcast. Niyamika, I was talking about a reaction that she gave earlier when she said, "Hum unko nahi bolne denge." This was the latest when Mohit asked him. The Prime Minister was supposed to speak, but that hasn't happened.
Well, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra had earlier also made it very clear that they are going to demand that it is firstly the LOP who is going to who should speak about the presidential address. As for that reason, we have seen that how the opposition is continuously protesting within the house regarding this entire matter. They are making allegations against the BJP that there are two set of rules for the opposition and for the treasury benches. They are basically giving an example of Nishikant Dubey, saying that if Nishikant Dubey can quote from certain books regarding Bofors, then why the leader of opposition is not being allowed to speak within the house? They have also made this allegation against the BJP that this shows the double standards. And
center, the government is trying to make it a mockery. We are not going to allow all these things, anti-democratic things.
You raised the issues with the speaker also?
Yeah. We raised the issue very strongly again. Speaker told me he conveyed to the our sentiments to the government. He is waiting reply from the government, but they didn't take any action. So
Happy birthday.
So that was Mr. K.C. Venugopal. Let me go across to Madhav. Madhav, earlier Priyanka Gandhi, okay, I think Madhav is not with us on the broadcast. Let me go across to Niyamika. Earlier Priyanka Gandhi said, "Hum unko nahi bolne denge." Now Mr. K.C. Venugopal says, all of this cannot be allowed. We will not allow this to happen. What are these leaders trying to say? Is the ruckus, the sloganeering going to continue tomorrow as well?
Well, it seems so. The way in which this entire strategy was being chalked out by the Congress party, they are quite adamant over the fact that it is the responsibility of leader of opposition to speak within the house, and that is not being allowed. And for that reason, we have seen that since morning there was continuous sloganeering which was being done by the opposition MPs, and now when Nishikant Dubey has made a remark regarding the Bofors issue, then all of a sudden all of these leaders have started and went to the well. They started raising slogans against the BJP government, and in fact they have also made a complaint to the speaker that these are the two set of rules which are being implied upon the MPs. They are basically demanding that Nishikant Dubey should be suspended. Otherwise, speaker should also allow the leader of opposition to speak within the house, as he was also trying to raise certain matters which are related to the national security. And if Nishikant Dubey can put why can't the leader of opposition do the same thing? So that is the strategy of the Congress party, that when the Prime Minister will speak within the house, then this protest is going to continue. That is what we have seen today as well. So it seems like this entire strategy, this entire motive, or the intention of the Congress party will remain the same for the next day as well. Tomorrow as well, we can expect that there will be a lockdown.
जी तो बुलेट ट्रेन की तरह भागे लड़कियों को जी कई तरह का आरोप भी लगा है। पीएम आप आरोप लगा रही पीएम डर गए, किस बात से डर गए? जो राहुल जी ने चैलेंज किया था, तो आप बताएंगे किस बात से डरे? जो राहुल जी ने
That was Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. Not very clear what she said just now while leaving. We'll try and extract that bite and play it out for you. Niyamika continues to be with us on the broadcast, but earlier Priyanka Gandhi was also heard saying "Dar gaye sadan mein," and she was talking about Nishikant Dubey as well. So Priyanka has heard the "Dar gaye" jibe at the government. Lok Sabha has been adjourned for the day. There's going to be no address of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. I believe Rahul Gandhi will also speak. Let's listen in.
हुआ कल तक के लिए ये प्रधानमंत्री जी बोलेंगे।
So both Priyanka Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi have left. Rahul Gandhi did not respond to
दो गेट तो बंद करने दो भाई। अरे तीन बार मार दिया।
You will raise the issue tomorrow.
Also, sir.
All right, not taking any questions at the moment. Rahul Gandhi was asked if he's going to raise the issue tomorrow as well. He hasn't responded to that question. Priyanka Gandhi earlier said "Dar gaye." That was the jibe that she took at the government. We have another reaction coming in. Let's listen in.
इमरान मसूद कांग्रेस पार्टी एमपी। सर, प्रधानमंत्री का खबर ये आ रही थी कि 5 बजे बोलना है, लेकिन जिस प्रकार से हंगामा रहा उसके बाद फिर एडजर्न हो गई है, क्या कहेंगे? और निशिकांत दुबे ने जिस प्रकार से आरोप लगाए हैं कांग्रेस पार्टी पे, उन्होंने कई सारी किताबें दिखाई, क्या कहना चाहिए?
उनको किताबें दिखाने की इजाजत है, राहुल जी को नहीं है, एलओपी को नहीं है। एलओपी का माइक भी ऑन नहीं होगा, एलओपी का तो माइक भी ऑन नहीं करेंगे, ये एलओपी का माइक ऑफ कर देंगे। एलओपी को नहीं बोलने देंगे तो हमसे उम्मीद ना रखें कि हम इनको सहयोग करेंगे।
मतलब आप ये कह रहे हैं कि अगर प्रधानमंत्री बोलेंगे तो कांग्रेस पार्टी हंगामा करेगी, अगर राहुल गांधी को बोलने नहीं दिया गया और राहुल गांधी बोलेंगे तो वही मुद्दा उठाएंगे जो उठा
नहीं तो क्यों नहीं उठाएंगे? आप लोग डरे हो, आप लोग डरे हो। हम लोग अपनी तरफ से नहीं कह रहे, किताब दिखा रहे हैं, किताब लेके आए थे राहुल जी आज। राहुल जी को आप बोलने नहीं देंगे, निशिकांत दुबे किताब उठा के दिखाएंगे, तो आप उनके लिए रूल अलग है, हमारे लिए रूल अलग है।
थैंक यू फॉर स्पीकिंग टू अस।
Let's go across to Niyamika. She continues to be with us. The Congress MPs, one after the other, saying Rahul Gandhi को बोलने नहीं देंगे, निशिकांत दुबे को बोलने दिया जा रहा है. This is double standards. The allegation or the jibe that is being taken by the opposition is that the government is scared. सरकार डर गई है.